On our continuing series of candidate interviews, we welcome running for mayor of Olympia, Marco ROSAIRE Rossi. Hi, Marco.
Hey, glad to be here.
Thank you for coming in this morning.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Marco, our first question out of the gate to all of the candidates. What's your platform?
Well, there are four main issues that I'm focusing on this campaign. The number one is supporting working families and helping to alleviate poverty in Olympia. Olympia has the unfortunate record of having the highest poverty rate of any incorporated city in all of Thurston County. So the second part is that we really want to create an inclusive downtown, inclusive, safe downtown. We understand Olympia is going to grow economically. A lot of the economic growth is going to go downtown, so downtown's going through a lot of changes. We want to make downtown a welcoming place for all people and make it so that it can absorb that new populations and that new economic growth. The last plank is we really want to reevaluate city government to make it more inclusive, and part of that is making the police more accountable to the public. We had an unfortunate event in Olympia a few weeks ago, and that event really calls for a reassessing of community and police relations, ensuring that police have the tools to gauge their job peacefully and that they are accountable to the citizens. So if they do acts that so that they misuse the use of force, that there is mechanisms of responsibility and accountability.
Marco, why did you decide to run this year?
I decided to run because a lot of the issues that I care about and a lot of the people I care about, I just weren't seeing reflected in the debate here in Olympia. I volunteer at a homeless shelter once a week, and those people have a lot of deep concerns, and I don't see their concerns reflected in city government, and I don't see a lot of their concerns reflected in the political discourse in Olympia. So I ran because I want to make sure those people's voice are in the debates, that these issues are being talked about, and that we give representation to people who historically haven't been represented.
Marco, give us a reason why voters should pick you over your opponents.
I think there's three reasons why I'm the best candidate in this race. One is I'm coming at this race with a set of platform and a set of policies that I've taken from other cities that are demonstrated to work and that work for some of the most marginalized people in the community. So I'm coming at this race in both an idealist and that I want to create dramatic change, but also as a pragmatist, and that I realize we have to have realistic goals and realistic means of doing that. The second thing is I've really been involved in Olympia. I've served on the board of nonprofits. I've been involved in issues of homelessness and issues of reduction of poverty. So because of this, I really think that I've built up my credentials and respect among those communities to carry these policies forward. And last is I'm really educated. I am a policy wonk. I love reading about politics, local government. I've taken time to understand these issues really deeply. I have a master's degree in political science. I've done the homework so that I know that I can make the type of decisions that really will work for everybody and create win-win situations for the people of Olympia.
Finally, Marco, what would you consider some of the biggest issues that are facing the voters in this upcoming election?
Well, a lot of the biggest issues, I think, are the issues that I sort of outlined in the major planks of my campaign. The overriding issue with all of that is the issue of how the city is going to change in the coming years. We have a city that plans to absorb 20,000 people in the next 20 years. Knowing that transformation is coming implies a lot of questions of how our city is going to change. It implies questions in terms of economic growth. It implies questions of sustainability and economic viability for the city. It implies questions of democracy. Is our method of representation adequate for that type of population? Do we have an inclusive democratic system that we making sure is representing all people? It implies questions of ethnicity and race. Olympia is a population where 85% white. We know with the increase in population, we're going to have a greater mixture of ethnic minorities and a diversifying population, are we guaranteeing that all the city governments are prepared to deal with institutionalized racism? Are we guaranteeing that we are granting the best effort we can to fight discrimination in our city? So all this massive growth that we're going to see in the coming years is something the city needs to prepare for. And I just really think that I'm someone who's able to prepare for that. I'm someone who's to make that change and make sure that we make this transition in a way that really works for everybody.
Running for Mayor of Olympia, a 4-year term, nonpartisan office, Marco ROSAIRE Rossi. Marco, thank you.
Thank you.